Hi everyone, and welcome to the first series of Ringgitpay FinTech 2023 webinar, hosted by Ringgitpay, co-hosted by RHB Group in collaboration with RP I'm Ganesh. I head up innovation at RHB Banking Group, and with me today are a few esteemed speakers. And let me introduce some of them, right? So we have Dr. Nakul Mustan. He's a senior lecturer from Institute Aminuddin Baki within the Ministry of Education. We will have Ratnavel Anand Kumar, CEO of Ringgitpay.
Good morning,
And we
everyone.
have, hi Ratna, Dr. Nakul. And we have Muhammad Alif, who heads up Ecosystem Merchant Solutions at RHB.
Morning. Hi.
And of course, last but certainly not least, Calvin Lee, the CEO of iKey EduTech.
Hi Ganesh, morning.
Hi, morning. Now, just for the audience, this is the first part of a multi-part series. Now, in the next 90 minutes, you'll be learning about the benefits of process automation within the education sector, as well as real-life case studies from users that have successfully implemented automation to create tangible value for their business. Now, to get things started, I think let's start with Dr. Nakul, right? Perhaps you can elaborate why automation is so important, and is it really a necessity for the education sector?
And a very good morning to every one of you. If you look at JR Music and Academic, they are very successful after introducing automation in their process, and they keep on achieving success in their function. So this can be an example for other institutions to follow up, like what they are doing. So it's compulsory for education institution to go full swing in ICT and automation. So in order to them to catch up with the mainstream development that's taking place right now everywhere in this world, so automation is essential and necessary. Automation is essential and necessary for educational institutions, parallel with the educational technological development that's taking place around us. So if not, we are in a difficult situation and we will be left out from what is happening in the educational development right now that taking place surrounding us. By doing so, catching up with the latest development, we are actually enhancing our processes, either in management or in classroom delivery. By doing so, actually we are producing better students, well-versed in ICT, and also they are all-rounder in their achievement. And finally, by enhancing automation in our institution, actually helping us helping us in our system at all level more effective and delivery. Thanks. That's my answer for the first question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nakul, for sharing your insights. Now, I think, based on what you've shared, to really help our audience imagine what automation looks like, perhaps you can hear from Ricky Lowe from JR Academy.
Welcome to JR Academy, your only world-class all-in-one learning center in Taipei. My name is Ricky Lowe. We provide various courses including Smart Education, Yamaha Music School, Art and Craft, Dance and Fitness, Martial Arts, and many other courses. We emphasize on modern and efficient learning facilities, comfortable learning environment, convenience, and the best safety. I choose to automate my business in order to provide the convenience for my teachers and students in terms of fees payment, attendance, notices, and many more. As for the business side, we have minimized our error by a lot compared to the manual jobs. With me here are two of my managers who is handling most of my daily jobs. Let me introduce Nat and Farah. Nat, since we have automated our business, how do you think it has benefited you?
Okay, since we've been automated, it really helps a lot in terms of student scheduling, attendance management, and also generating the teacher's commission.
So Farah, what about the fees collection?
Since the parent can pay through online, we managed to reduce the crowd of the fee collection, and also fees payment collection have been improved a lot.
Since I've automated my business, I can fully concentrate on my business expansion. So we are planning actually to expand our business JR Academy to the whole Malaysia to bring more quality education system with the best learning environment throughout the whole Malaysia to benefit more customers in future. JR Academy students and parents feel prestige learning at our center with automation because they can enjoy the convenience of cashless and secured payment anytime, anywhere. In conclusion, JR Academy has proven that automation is the key to the future. Let's strive towards automation for the future of your business. Thank you.
Awesome. I think that's a great video, really illustrating how Ricky from JR Academy has implemented automation to really good success. Now, I have a question for Kelvin, right? Since it's quite obvious that Dr. Naku mentioned about the importance of automation, we've seen Ricky share some of the successes that he's had. Why do you think some organizations still refuse to accept automation? And based on your on-ground experience, what would your opinion be on this?
Hi, Ganesh. Good morning, everyone. That's a great question. So through the many conversations I had on the ground, I would say it boils down to one word, which is fear. And the fear are various. There are many types of fears, and generally categorize it into three. The fear of change, the fear of losing the job, and last but not least, fear of data leakages, right? With all the recent announcements of scams and all right? So let me give you some in-depth on why there are fears, right? Mostly it is because of lack of understanding, right? Lack of awareness, and also not wanting to go out of the comfort zone, right? Fear of being out of the comfort zone. And why is this important? Because if you do not understand or aware what automation, the benefits of automation, you will not change. You will just be sitting on the sidelines, watching people grow their business, and you'll be losing out because as we see from the videos before and what Dr. Naku has mentioned, automation is here to stay. Automation is here. Everyone is using it. So if you do not embark on certain kind of automation, more or less you'll be left out, right? So for many, automation may be saying that, hey, Kelvin, if I were to introduce automation, will I be out of job? But I want to emphasize that look at automation as a tool to help you improve your job efficiency. Look at automation as a tool to help you put away mundane, repetitive work so that you can focus on what is important, creating value for the kids, especially in education, right? If you can spend less time in payment collection, less time in scheduling, you'll be able to spend more time to do up a better lesson plan, right? To provide better learning materials. And for business owners, you can plan your business better, like what Ricky has shared previously, right? If just take, for example, 30 years earlier, business owners may be using pen and paper to record their business accounting entries, right? Your bookkeeping. But nowadays, I would say majority of the business are using some sort of accounting software. And this is a form of automation, right? You do not need to manually calculate your numbers. You do not need to represent your numbers in a proper format. With accounting software, by a click of a button, you get your profit and loss balance sheet in mere seconds. So as compared to weeks and months needed to generate a report, if you're using pen and paper. So fear is something that arises because we do not understand what is there, what is automation. right? So I wish that, if automation is too big of a word to swallow, maybe we can look at automation as a tool, right? Imagine automation equals a tool. So today, what kind of tool do I want to, right? Lastly, people will say that, hey, Kelvin, when all this data, all this automation, what about data leakages? So look at service providers who provide safeguards, who provide a good security system. Right? Look at what are the system they are using. Understand it. What are the do they have firewalls? Do they have antivirus? Kind of this in place so that you can be rest assured that your data is kept saved. So just to sum it up, right? The fear of automation, by and large, is because lack of knowledge and understanding of the benefits that automation will bring. So I would like to have everyone, like, just to relook at automation, just look at it as a tool. We cannot let ourselves be left out just because we are afraid of change, because change is here to stay. All right. So I think that's my sharing. Ganesh, pass it back to you.
Thanks so much, Calvin. Really appreciate it. I mean, I think that's pretty spot on. Change is the only constant, right? If you're staying stagnant, how are you going to improve? I think Calvin highlighted 3 points. Fear of change, the fear of losing their job, fear of data leakages. Obviously, the first two is definitely something that is inward looking. And as you rightly mentioned, automation should be seen as a tool that can help you, that can enable you to do better. But speaking of fear of data leakages, right? And I think Calvin did mention about finding the right kind of service providers and that can provide the right level of security, right? Perhaps you can actually bring on Alif. What do you think, Alif? Like, how is this currently being managed, and how can we really assure our real users that the data is going to be secure? Maybe you can
Sure.
comment on.
Okay. Thanks, Ganesh. Thanks for the question. So, I think as a bank, we do play a crucial role in ensuring the security of personal data, and must take the appropriate actions or measures to protect all this sensitive information. Right? There are many ways that banks today can assure the security of the personal data. So one way is through encryption of this personal or sensitive information, such as account numbers, identification information, addresses, all the sensitive information are encrypted to protect it from unauthorized access, right? Now, secondly is the access control to the data itself, or not just to the data, but to the system or to the services, to the platforms, and many more, right? So as a bank, we implement strict access controls to ensure that only authorized personnel can have access to the sensitive data, including the users of the data itself or the owners of the data itself, right? So this includes like enforcing strong passwords, two-factor authentication, and other important security measures. When we talk about data, right, we talk, there's also the element of network security as well. And as you know, and as everyone knows, banks have one of the highest, network security standards in the industry, right? Banks implement measures to secure our networks, such as firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and other security technologies to protect ourselves, our data, our customers from or against cyber attacks, right? And periodically, we also, as a bank, we also enforce regular software updates. We update our software and systems regularly to ensure that we address any security or vulnerabilities that may have been discovered, right? So there are many other ways that that banks take action to secure personal data from leakages, from unauthorized access. But these are some of the common these are some of the stronger actions that banks have taken to ensure security of this data.
Thanks, so much, Olive. You gave a very detailed explanation on how we actually assure security is managed in the right manner. And I think
Thanks.
this really speaks a lot about, understanding all of these fears, right? And understanding what the potential benefits are. And some of the users here, if you have, those of you tuning in right now, if you have any questions, any additional questions, please drop it in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you, just to make the discussion more lively, right? And thanks for sharing, Alif. So, Ratna, I'm going to pull you in now, right? So, knowing that
Yes.
all of these fears exist, how do you all play a role to really support these organizations to really overcome this together so they don't feel like they're alone?
Yes, Ganesh. So before I go into how we can help, and I just wanted to emphasize few things because today we are living in a Chat GPT world and then AI world, and there's so many information. So information is overloaded, and for a customer, you wanted to do automation, but he must really take care of certain aspects before even he embark into the journey. So, like the first thing our friend Kelvin is clearly mentioned and Alif is emphasized on that, data security. So, data security is your business data, is your key thing for you, which is driving your business. So, you must be really careful on business data when you are trying to automate your processes. The next one is business sensitivity, Ganesh, because you are serving certain segments of customers and certain cultural diversity of these customers to be taken care of when you do the automation. So, and the last is a customer experience. So, example, you are trying to automate your invoices, example, right? So today you are sending a manual invoices and you want to do a e-invoices. What will happen that your customer not even having an email? So these are the things must be really taken care of it, right? So this is the key factors I would like to summarize. Before even a business wanted to go to automation, they must really take care of the business sensitivity and business data, and most importantly, the customer experience, Ganesh. Yeah, that's my share.
Thanks so much, Ragnar, for sharing on that. I think just to give the users a better view, I think let's watch another video of a real user sharing automation journey.
Hi, my name is Brenda Ang and I'm from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I work in the education industry for more than 20 years. I am the founder of Singapore Math Academy and a qualified mathematics teacher. Singapore Math Academy started in 2015 with 6 centers in Malaysia. Our academy is a leading institution that trains young minds with the knowledge of math. We offer pre-primary, primary and secondary school children using a math curriculum approved by the Singapore Ministry of Education. Since the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic, we have switched to online education. One of my staff suggested to automate our business together. Earlier, I was skeptical to start because many parents couldn't accept online teaching, and I worry they may not accept our business using an automated platform. The automated platform, I find that actually is very user-friendly because it could handle mass communication with parents, and also we can issue invoices and receipts and record students' attendance and temperature, especially during the pandemic period where some of our students and staff, we have to come back to the center for hybrid classes. Measuring the temperature is a very crucial part. Lastly, our staff payroll and accounting records can do it in the platform too. The platform is user-friendly for our parents and us. They can enroll their child from the online link and download the app. They can view all the notifications, invoices and receipts through the app. Principal Ann, what do you think about your workload after using the automated system?
In terms of workload, I think it is definitely lesser
with the use of the system. We no longer need to look for students' information from the hard copy files where we need to flip through every pages just to look for one information. It is now easier and it's just like a one click away. Then you just click and then you can get the information that we need. Besides that, we can also easily update our parents on the homework pages and also send them announcement through the app.
Mathematics play an important role in the child education. We train the children for the problem-solving skill and also logical thinking skill. We plan to expand our businesses in the next 5 years and we hope to open 10 more Singapore Math Academy centers. We hope to recruit more educators and business partners that are committed and passionate in teaching mathematics to the younger generation and make them love mathematics. For the customers, digital transformations brings greater transparency, less information asymmetry, and new customers benefits such as new technology and services, greater convenience, and new experiences. The most fundamental skills set for individuals and companies in the digital era are capabilities to adopt new technologies. For people in businesses who are not tech savvy, it is not a major problem to plan to go for digitalization as long as they can handle basic functions of common devices such as computer and handphone. For a business, the knowledge about automated platform installation in the existing business system, that one we will let an expert to take care of it. We all need to be digitally literate in today's technology era. Digital literacy means being able to use technology to find and share information. Even applying for a job will need technology. For educators and institutions, the digital learning or business platform helps connect within tutors and students. It generates valuable insights into learning progress. We need to embrace the digital transformation in this digital era. Thank you.
That was a lovely sharing from Brenda from the Singapore Math Academy. And I think she highlights a lot of points, right? Namely as to what Calvin has mentioned earlier about fears and how we really have to overcome these fears because digitalization is happening whether we like it or not. And we should see it as an opportunity to actually save a valuable time and generate tangible value for your business. Now, perhaps you can bring in Olive, right? Can you elaborate how RHB, for example, has played a role in supporting similar organizations in their automation journey, just to give our audience a bit more flavor?
Thanks, Ganesh. When we talk about automation, a lot of time it is related to solutioning or systems that we can avail to businesses or organization. Right? So when it comes to banking, it is always about how can we make processes simpler and more efficient for businesses or institutions. So one way to achieve this is to support our customers or businesses on the integration of their systems with the banking system or any other third-party platform to streamline processes and to improve efficiency, right? So this can include availing APIs and other technologies to automate data exchange and reconcile transactions and many more, right? The other way that I can think of is to offer advisory services to organizations. So banks do play a role to provide advisory services to help organizations to identify the most appropriate automation solutions for their needs, including the selection of vendors, implementation strategies, change management plans, and even down to the value chain within the organization and which part of the value chain, what we call automated, right? And one of the other important part of automation is to also look into the cash management process or processes in businesses today. So typically in any organization, the payment and collections are the heart of the business, right? If this is not managed well, operationally, it will be very challenging for businesses to maintain in the long run. So in light of this, banks can support businesses in optimizing their cash management process, including automating cash collections, and disbursements, reducing the manual intervention required, as well as improving the accuracy of reporting. Right. This in turn will help businesses to run efficiently, reduce operational risk and losses, and maintain a positive and a healthy cost ratio.
Awesome. Thanks, Alif, for sharing. I mean, definitely very clear in terms of how banks are actually supporting the journey. Now, for the audience that are tuning in, perhaps you can share some of your experiences, in the comment section, right? Talk about some of your challenges that you've currently faced. What has stopped you from actually embarking on automation, and why? Do you think it's, you're not really communicated on the benefits, or you're not aware, or you just simply don't have the time? Right, so just write in your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think, and we're excited to hear from you. Now, I think we will be taking a short break. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes to hear more insights from our speakers and rail users. So stay tuned. Hi, everyone, and welcome back, from a little short break. Now, just to recap the first bit, we had Dr. Naku come in and talk about the importance of automation. He mentioned why it's no longer an option, but truly a necessity for all of you within the education sector. Then we heard from Ricky from GR Academy, who shared how automation has been used to really help him, add value to his business, his GR Academy. Then, of course, we had, Calvin talk about the different fears that you would have to encounter when dealing with process automation. Alif then jumped in talking about data leakages, right? How do you ensure that data security is handled properly? And of course, Ratna also comes in, and Brenda from Singapore Math Academy shows how automation has helped her on her journey, right? So now what I'd like all of you to do is really just put in some questions. We have a lot of you here tuning in. Miu Wong, Dinesh, Yuvraj, Franklin, all of you guys have come in on this Saturday morning. So let's make the most of it, right? Let's type in your questions in chat, share with us, so we can make this a very interactive dialogue session, right? Okay, so while you are putting in your comments, perhaps we can bring on board Calvin and Ratna, right? So Calvin, could you share with us what really derived you and Ratna to focus on people management and payment collection automation for the education sector, when there's so many other processes, right, that could be automated too?
All right. Thank you, Ganesh. Yeah. So out of so many of the other processes, why did we pick payment, processing, payment management as the key? So this is because I think when we talk about businesses, right, cash is the key to every business, right? And cash flow is like oxygen to running a business. So think about it. Imagine you are unable to breathe for a minute, right? Hold your breath for a minute. How would that feel? Very bad, right? So that is how running a business, how cash flow is important to business. And we have just experienced 2 years of COVID. Right? There's a lot of business closures, unable to operate. Cash flows are severely affected. That's why we felt that education business has been left out of the automation or cash collection automation for the longest time ever. Just to share with you a conversation I had when I first started this whole automation, right? Cash payment automation. I had a conversation with business owner, education business owner. So I asked them that how do you collect your money, school fees, right? So they were mentioning it's either via cash, so parents will put the cash in the envelope and pass it to the student, while the student will pass it to the school. And and after collecting the cash, they will record it and travel to the bank. The conversation sounds normal, right? It is expected of a business to have to go through these processes. And when I prompted this business owner, I said, what if there is something you can do to that you don't have to run to the bank frequently every week, look for a parking, wait for your number to be called and bang in the cash, and you don't have to take out a pen and paper to record the transaction. So it was, yeah, Kelvin, that is interesting. I never thought about it because going cashless, automate your cash collection will save you a lot of time and also cut down on risk. What kind of risk are we looking at? Risk of missing cash, risk of getting summoned if you can't find the parking at the bank, jokes aside, right? So, and also improper recording. Right? You may have instances where after parents made the payment, it wasn't recorded properly, and you know, you will have feedbacks from parents who say, "Hey, I paid. Why are you still asking me to pay?" So that's why when we met up with Ratna, Ringgitpay, and also RHB, we found this common understanding of the pain points of business. That's why we banded together to provide this automated collection system for schools that is most importantly fast, effective, and transparent. I think that is what business wants. They want it fast, they want it effective, and they want it transparent. So by transparent meaning that they are able to see their transactions on a daily, weekly basis. Right? So I hope the above sharing will give everyone here some insights into why is it important and why did we focus on cash payment. Right? Back to you, Ganesh.
Awesome. Thanks, Calvin. So I think, as Calvin rightly mentioned, payment collection automation just really saves you that trouble when you think about it, so that you can focus on what you do best, right? Which is focusing on the business and adding value there. All these other things you can just have automation take care of it, right? Um, but now let's bring in Radna, right? After Calvin has shared about the focus areas of automation. In your opinion, is there a specific time for an organization to really kickstart automation? And should they sort of be a tech expert in order to be able to do this?
Well, Ganesh, yeah, that's a it's $1 million question, bro, because Kelvin, thank you for elaborating the importance of automation and why we partner, and that's very important. So thank you for that. See, Ganesh, I would like to emphasize a few things for our customers, for anybody who wanted to do automation. So normally when a business want to do automation, what they do is they go and search engine to search for these vendors, right? And there are thousands of results coming in. And as a business, sometimes I confuse which one to choose. Top 10 results doesn't mean that they are the right partner for me, right? So, and that's where I understand to summarize this. When a business want to do automation, like here the tips from my experience. Ease is like experience, adaptable, and then security, and also economical. And what is experience here? So experience here is like uh, engage a right partner. So because say for your understand the domain, like what is Kelvin's team is doing is like for children to go into school, and then a parent get an automatic notification about the child is in the class. So that's kind of understanding of the domain is quite important. That ease the process of the parents because they are sending tools and transporter and things like that. And then whenever I want to make a payment, I got a reminder to make a payment. So because during my busy schedule, I might forget to make a payment, or there's a provision for me to do a recurring payments. So these are the understanding comes from the experience. So that's experience goes into the first one. The second one is adaptability, because most of the time, unfortunately, the partners they design the system and then they expect the business to adapt it. Actually, it's another way. So you must understand the domain, their needs, and adapt to their requirements. That's very key, and that's also another important point to consider for a business. And the next one is security, because I needless to say that how important data security is, because any data leakage on your parents or your child and data, anything, is a catastrophe to your business. So, and you must really go into the credible partners, and in this case, ecosystem is the right way to handle, because as a bank, they do a due diligence of the partners, and then you are well secured, your data is well secured, and things like that. The last one is on the E's formula is economical. E. Economical doesn't mean is cheap, right? Because a cheaper solution doesn't mean you are getting value. So look for a value for your investment. So basically, Ganesh, like you must consider all these parameters before you choose the right partner for your business. Yes, I hope it helps. Back to you, Ganesh.
Thanks so much, Ratna. So I think in summary, it's about, not just engaging the right partner, but also really trying to understand the needs of your users, right? And if you can fulfill those needs and those fears, like in this example that Ratna shared, where parents would like to have that comfort knowing that, okay, the children are in class, they're safe, they're sound, they're learning, right? Especially when they're really busy at work. They don't want an additional thing to worry about. So I think in trying to solve these challenges, or rather understanding the needs and pains of your users, you can then craft out what are the use cases you want to apply using automation. Because as Calvin mentioned earlier, there's so many different kinds of processes that you can use automation for. But how do you prioritize? How do you determine which process requires automation first versus another? And I think that's an important question. And maybe some of you in the chat, like if you guys have considered automation, if you've thought about it, do share what are the areas you'd like to automate first and why, and maybe we can get our experts here to comment on that after. Let us watch another real life case study, right? So we have Aisha. She's going to be sharing a little bit about how Primarily has kickstarted automation, and what are the benefits they've used and they've achieved through automation.
Hello everyone, I'm Aisha. I am the co-director as well as Chief Operating Officer of Primarily. Back in the days, we did everything here at Primarily manually. In other words, we do things from scratch, from paper-based forms to paying fees by cash, as well as students' attendance. We had lots of discussions and we came up with a decision where we need a good center management system in order to help us automate. Right after implementing the system, I found out that Primarily are more organized and structured. Our teachers experienced the best experiences in order to help them managing their classes. So here, I have Cikgu Shaza to share with us. So Cikgu Shaza, since you mentioned you can manage and record your students accordingly, what do you think, or how do you think this can help you to benefit the student?
Okay, since this app system is paperless, it helps me a lot because I don't have to worry on the documentation part. I can prepare my teaching and learning materials, and the most important, I can give the best learning experience to my students.
As soon as we started using the system, we found out that there are more to reach. We can focus more on our marketing. I can focus more on getting more students at my center. And plus, by using the system, it comes with an app. So this app that we are using right now is very user-friendly. Parents can easily download it anywhere and they can get all the infos that is provided via the app, and this benefits both my team as well as the parents. Convenient is the best word to describe this. All payment process can be done by parents easily. Parents can simply check their invoices, make payments using their preferred channel, and then they can easily track all their payment histories as well as generating receipts using the app. I do understand managing a business is not an easy job. Thus, we need the correct system in order to help us. Plus, having this correct system will help us in order to automate and next to expand our business. Expanding business means more money. Once we found the correct system to help us managing our business, just let the expert do their job. As per discussion with my teams before, way back before we had the system, we thought that if we do not go for automation or digitalization, we might as well someday be irrelevant in the industry, and we do not want that. So we choose to go for digitalization and automation. Thank you and have a nice day.
Awesome, that's wonderful sharing, right? And she really hits the nail on the bud, as most of the speakers have done throughout the session, right? We spoke about what the benefits are to your business, what are some of the fears that you need to overcome, and why you should, right? Treating automation as a tool to help you really grow your business and create tangible value, right? Whether it's cost reductions or an improvement in the customer experience. Now, I'd like to bring in Dr. Nako, right? Just to close this in a way. What is your advice for education organizations that might still feel like they're not ready for automation or they're still in the midst of making a decision? What are your thoughts?
Thanks for the question, Mr. Ganesh. Quite challenging question. My advice is that educational institutions that are reluctant to change, they need to change. So they need to parallel with the paradigm change. Right now, we are in the paradigm of ICT and automation. So they need to follow up with the latest development that taking place in the market. If not, we are something like left out in the industry. So all the people in the industry are catching up with the technology. If we not following with the technological development, that means we are missing something. Missing something in our institution that is very important in the delivery system. So right now, all the institution, in my opinion, all the institutions must par with the latest development in ICT that taking place in the market. Either in the management, automation can be applied in all the places in the educational institution, especially in the management side. Management side, it can be automated. Right now, we can see many in government institute and private institute, they automate in the management system. Plus in classroom. Classroom also we can automate in the learning process, teaching and learning process to benefit the students. So automation is very important in overall institution to upbring, enhance latest technology in our work, and finally we can produce a better result. So if you ask me personally, you see the automation is very important to all institutions to follow, and they cannot give up. And they need to change their mindset. Mindset need to be changed. This is mentioned deeply in psychology and social science. Want to change humans' mindset take time. So I hope the people involved in educational institutions change your mindset, absorb the latest development in technology. Make sure you are competitive in the market. By absorbing the technology, you are competitive in the market. If not, you are irrelevant in the market, so you will be left out. So finally, by automation, you can improve the process output. That means the management and the teaching process you can improve. The output process you can improve. Finally, you can improve the outcome, the quality of student. Once we increase, once we are better in our output system, it's tally with the outcome. So finally, we can produce a better student by having the good system in our organization. I think that's my answer for this question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Naku. I think you really hit the nail on the bud, right? When we really focus on, solving these other, teething issues where you don't spend time there, just focus on where you want to add value, right? To the experience of the students, to the experience of the parents as well. and the teachers, right? All the relevant stakeholders. You want to try and limit the amount of time spent on administrative things, which will just cause extra headaches, which you don't need to deal for when you have tools such as automation to help you solve that. Now, with that, I'd like to jump into the Q&A. For those of you that did not have time to type in a question, please do so now. We have a few questions, though. Let me start with Induja Babu. I think she spoke about, can the panel members share some of their experience on the general challenges they face during their journey of digitizing the industries, and how did they resolve them, right? So any of the speakers, maybe you can just talk about some of the challenges they might have faced, or give an example of a challenge and how you overcame it. Open the floor. Or perhaps you can get perhaps Calvin or Ratna to chime in, share your thoughts.
Right. Hi, Ganesh. Thank you. So maybe just something from my own experience in terms of digitalization, right? Unfortunately, although we are a tech company, but back in 2019, before COVID, our accounting was still pretty manual, sad to say. So unfortunately, during COVID, we had to work from home. So it was that time that we only look into fully automating our accounting software where we go to cloud. And this poses a few challenges because one is, fear of change. That's what I mentioned. My team wasn't ready to go on cloud. They were having a lot of fears, like, Kelvin, what if there's no internet? What if my data went missing? There's a lot of what if. So the time to educate my team was a challenging one. Number two was also because cloud was something new to them. I will need to also bring them step by step to accept cloud, to accept the challenges that come with it. For example, a slow internet connection, right? Especially during COVID, right? Everyone is online. The bandwidth is really, spread thinly. So this was the challenges, but I know that if I do not do this now, it will never be done. So we actually bite the bullet. We say that, hey team, let's do this. We need to do it no matter we like it or not, right? Put it simple. So we went through sleepless nights, honestly, changing from our accounting from a very manual computer-based to cloud with automation involved. Now, after going through that 2 months of, I would say, horror, sleepless nights for my accounting team, now they are so happy that they did the decision because that accounting software actually came with a lot more automation. Like, for example, recognition. They can just upload the invoices, and it will, the software will be able to recognize the suppliers, the amounts, even suggest what are the accounting entries to be put in. So this actually helped my team a lot. Right? Okay, that's a bit of my sharing. Maybe Ratna has something to share.
Thank you so much, Calvin. Yeah, why don't we bring in Ratna?
Yeah. So, what is the question, Ganesh? I think Kelvin is very well answered that question. Is there?
Yeah. So maybe you can share an example of one of the challenges that you faced when during your journey of digitizing your business, and how did you actually resolve them? Yeah.
Well, Ganesh, when we embark into this, we are a fintech company more than 10 years in the country, so Malaysia. And one of the key things we focus in customer convenience when things comes to this automation. So earlier I was giving an example of sending an invoice through an email, and then your parents click the link and then make a payment through their preferred channel of internet banking or a credit card or e-wallets. But what if our parents do not have an email ID? So and that's where you must send them through a mobile. So probably a WhatsApp notification or SMS notification. So all these things we learn from our experience, and then we are serving the business, because today's world, like the another challenge what we have overcome over the year is like the support, because we are talking about globalization, but you cannot support the Malaysia customer from some other part of the world. So hyper local is the key that we are following. In other words, a local support. So very important. Who understand your people language, and it's very key. So those days, businesses have this stigma of, hey, I want to automate my invoices, I want to automate my processes, so I have to invest a lot of money in IT infrastructure, and also I must hire an IT manager or programmer and things like that. But no longer the case. So in today's environment, everything is available. Banks like RHP, and they are going extra mile to support their customers. Not only just like giving them a current account and internet banking. They are strategic partnership with partners like us and Calvin Ike and things like that. So they are giving an consolidated ecosystem to the customers. So my suggestion is when we're talking to customers, they say, Ratna, I want to automate, but how much you're going to charge? You're going to charge me 10,000? No, it's not. It's pay as use. So, and these are the things customer really to take advantages on today's environment. And starting up a business is quite possible nowadays. Starting up a one education center, but the challenge is from one education center to scale to 10 education center. How are you going to do that without automating your processes? So today's we have all the tools to achieve that dream, and so RHP is providing such environment to all the customers with the right partners. So this is, I hope it helps, Ganesh, this answer.
Thank you so much, Ratna. And I think we heard from both Calvin and Ratna. They've shared, a couple of challenges that they've faced and how they've actually overcome it. I think Calvin talked about, the fear of making that change, right? And if not now, when? And so I think that is the same question I'm going to ask all of you today. If not today, when are you going to do it? It just has to be done, right? Moving on to the next question we have from Jennifer Tay. She talked about, with all the recent news on app scams or monies missing from bank accounts, how do I know what is safe? Perhaps we can get Alif on board to address this concern.
Thanks, Ganesh. I think as a bank, while we have implemented measures to safeguard, clients' data, clients' money within our own environment and ecosystem, it's also important that our customers or users are aware of scam artists or fake apps available, made available in app stores or in the market. So it's very important that our customers are educated on the need to ensure that they download the right app, and avoid installing apps directly from the website, and ensure that you go through a genuine genuine protocol to download certain apps. Because the reason why I say this is because there are a lot of fake apps that try to mimic the experience of banks or experience of anything. And what they do is then they will inject malicious softwares into your mobile and then steal your information. At the end of the day, try to swindle or funnel funds out from your account. So while banks are also safeguarding or taking measures to safeguard, I think it's also important that as I mentioned earlier, it's also important for all of us and as users of banking application, to be aware of the risk and threats available via technology to do. So we have to ensure that we download a genuine app. We have to ensure that we keep our passwords protected. We have to make sure that we play our part as well, so that the ecosystem is safe.
Thank you so much, Ali, for sharing. Definitely takes two to tango. So as long as you keep vigilant, and only take things from official sources, I think you will be fine, Jennifer. On to the next question we have from Sabari, right? He talks about technology space, right? He keeps changing and upgrading. How do we ensure that we're always, ahead of the curve and we're able to adapt to these changes? Now let's bring in Calvin perhaps to address this.
All right. Thank you for the question, Sabari. So yes, technology is changing fast, especially in this world, this era, right? Every few months, we hear of a new technology, we hear of new changes to how things are being processed, like the recent ChatGPT, right? We observe that, with ChatGPT, you can even write a full business proposal within a few minutes, right? I was reading an article yesterday where a financial analyst actually put in some figures and numbers, and ChatGPT actually wrote quite a good analysis report based on the numbers. And these are actually changing, right? Changing times. So we will just need to, we don't have to implement everything that is out there. We just need to keep abreast. We need to know what is out there and to decide for ourselves, is it suitable for us? Is it suitable for our business? And if it's yes, then we should understand it, right? I always mention, in order to defeat fear, right? The fear of change, the fear of data leakage and all this, is to understand, is to be educated, to educate yourself on what is the technology, what is it, how can it help me, how safe is it, right? What are the information it's getting from me? Then looking at my business, right? How does this technologies fit into my business? And most importantly, how does it help to improve my business in terms of performance or creating value, getting more customers? Right. So in conclusion, I guess it's just mainly is you don't have to be following or using all the newest and latest technology. You just need to keep abreast, keep aware of what is happening. And along the way, if you find something that, hey, this may be suitable for me, do the research, try it out. With all new technologies, there's always a 7-day, even 30-day trial. There's a free version. Just try it out. And if it's useful, congratulations, right? You got yourself a new tool, right? Remember, a new tool to help you to run your business more effectively.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Calvin, for sharing. I mean, that is just great advice, right? And most of these technology apps, they have free trials. Why not make full use of it, right? Test the product out. In fact, most of these products are also designed to ensure that your user experience is seamless, easy onboarding, easy use, and they offer a free trial. So so what are you waiting for? Just give it a go. And what's the worst that could happen, right? Maybe it doesn't quite work for you, and there's always alternative solutions that you can test. There's just an abundance of solutions out there. Now, on to the last question we have from Ahmad Afik. Does Ringgitpay have real-time settlement, right? Ratna, perhaps you can comment on this.
Yes, Hafik. We are the real-time settlement. It's depending on the channel of payment you choose, whether it is online banking, credit card, or any other e-wallet channels. So, yeah, please drop a note to our careline, and they will definitely guide you through the processes. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for addressing that. All right, Afik, I hope you got what you're looking for, and definitely will be a lot of value add for you to integrate with your e-commerce website. Now we've come to the end of the webinar, right? And in summary, I think there's no doubt, right? Process automation just needs to happen. The amount of time that you'll be able to save, the amount of value you'll be able to bring to your customers in terms of improving the customer experience, in terms of spending that added time saved to more value-adding activities, and really focusing on your business, right? And leaving the rest to automation. And so now that we've come to the end, we're going to have all of you share your feedback. We have a little feedback QR form. Let us know your thoughts, right? Did you guys enjoy this webinar? Are there any other pertinent questions that you might have? As mentioned, right, this is the first part of a multi-series. The second series will be coming soon. So yes, please scan that QR code, and only if you scan the code can you claim and win your grab vouchers. So please do so shortly. And for those of you that like to reach out, you have careline at ringgitpay.com as a form of communications. You can also find more information at ringgitpay.biz. Just get in touch. You can book a free briefing session, and of course, they're also available on WhatsApp, right? So the number's there, +6017 9898253, right? So let us know your feedback and get in touch with us. And thank you very much for joining. This has been a pleasure. I'd like to thank all our speakers. We have, Dr. Nakul, Ratna, Kelvin. Maybe everyone can just say some final few words before we close this, and Alif, of course. All right, we'll start maybe with Dr. Nakul. Some parting words to the audience.
Thanks a lot for involving me in this program. So I hope it will contribute a lot for the client, especially the educational institute that need to automate.
Awesome, thanks. Ratna?
Thank you so much, all the speakers, Dr. Neko, Calvin, and Alif, especially Ganesh, you in a busy schedule, helping moderate this in a very, very interesting manner. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the participants.
Thanks, Ratna. And over to Alif.
I just want to say thanks to everyone for participating. I hope this webinar has been very helpful, has given you some thinking thought points for you to take away, and also think about automation, and reach out to us if you need any support or any help throughout your journey.
Thanks so much, Alif, for sharing. And we'll save the best for last. Kelvin, maybe you can just close the session with some final words.
All right. Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you, Ringgitpay and RP for inviting and organizing this awesome session. Last words are actually for those who are here today. Don't be intimidated by automation. Right? This word may sound a big word, but don't be intimidated. Treat automation as a tool. Look at it as a tool to help you improve your business, to save time, improve efficiency, so that you can do more with your time, right? So I wish everyone the best on your automation journey, and hope to see that you will be running a successful business with automation.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelvin. Right, guys, I hope you guys got all the intel you needed. Take that first step. The first step is always the hardest. And thank you for tuning in, spending your Saturday morning with us, and looking forward to seeing you in the next series. All right. Thanks, speakers. Thanks, everyone.
Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.